Why we need further lockdowns. As COVID 19 cases begin to surge all over the country, many leaders have expressed the idea of another complete lockdown. I currently, as we speak, have Corona 19. I am on my 10th day of isolation. So, as mask mandates and other restrictions have been put in place, COVID 19 cases continue to rise. And as of November of 2020, 37 states have incorporated mask mandates. Aaron Shoemaker, 2020. The United States has broken daily COVID 19 cases several times in the past few weeks. But our citizens continue to disregard the mask mandates and other regulations that have been put in place by our regulators. These mandates have been put in place to slow or potentially stop the spread of the virus. Due to this, I feel that another lockdown with stricter regulations is needed at this time. Here is a graph from Statista which shows United States leading the world with the most cases. Here's the graph right here. So as of this month, over 12 million cases, followed by India with 9 million, Brazil 6 million, France 2 million, Russia 2 million as well, and Spain a little over half a million, the UK half a million, and a million and a half, I'm sorry, and Italy 1,400,000. So, as I said, currently the United States holds the record with the amount of COVID 19 cases. We currently have 12.5 million cases across the United States. California currently holds the number 2 spot with 1.14 million cases, and Texas is the number 1 spot. They currently have 1.18 million cases. Since there is no safe state, I believe a state to state travel ban is desperately needed, except for proven family emergencies such as illness, trauma, or death. One country that opposed travel bans and saw success was China. We all saw how China was adversely affected by the COVID 19 in the beginning of the pandemic. In February of last year, China closed their borders. When they imposed a travel ban, China saw a 77% reduction in COVID 19 cases that were imported from mainland China to other countries. Placing stricter travel bans allows what is known for hotspot states to contain their infection rates within their state without spreading COVID 19 to other states with lower infection rates. Many people do not even know they are infected until it's too late. They have been around their loved ones with no mask, and their loved ones interact with other people in whom they feel safe to be around, and unbeknownst to them, they have been spreading the COVID 19. Before that one person feels sick, the CDC states that that person has the potential to infect 406 people in 30 days. If social distancing and masks are not enforced, because 20% of coronavirus cases are asymptomatic, which means they do not display any symptoms. Citroner 2020. That is what makes the virus so dangerous and spread so fast. Lockdowns can cause many inconveniences to an individual's daily life, but so can COVID 19. We think that our lockdowns have been bad. Well, there are other countries that have suffered far more stricter regulations than we have, and they have seen a positive impact on their COVID 19 numbers. In places such as Eritrea, Africa, Bolivia, China, Australia, and Thailand. These countries, they were imposed with some of the strictest regulations. Some of these regulations included total shutdown of the businesses, including grocery stores, urging their citizens to ensure they had a 3 week supply worth of food during the complete lockdown. With those strict lockdown regulations, Thailand only had a total of 3,922 cases, of which 3,772 have made a total recover, although they did lose 60 people to the COVID. In July, that country went several weeks without a single transmitted case. Since November 10th, they have only recorded 80 active cases, and that is due to lockdown regulations coupled with social distancing mask mandates. Australia, which is another country that did a complete lockdown, has almost eradicated the virus. As of November 5th, the entire continent only has 18 patients in the hospital that are being treated for coronavirus. This proves that lockdowns really help slow and eliminate the spread of the virus. Another reason why a lockdown is needed is for the good of the environment. Not only do we have to worry about the coronavirus, but human beings, which themselves are like a virus to the planet. Just in the United States alone, in 2018, we generated 300 million tons of solid waste. That breaks down to approximately 5 pounds per day per person, EPA 2020. This figure was pre-COVID. These figures do not include the waste of PPE, which is personal protective equipment, that has added to our carbon footprint. When I am at work, I can go through about 10 to 15 masks, 10 to 15 plastic gowns, and about 30 pairs of gloves per shift. Now, take those numbers and multiply it with all the other nurses, doctors, and other healthcare workers in the world. We also need to now take in the account for non-medical workers, just the regular civilian population, and children, and the society in general, which are now wearing gloves and masks throughout the day. It is expected that our yearly solid waste is expected to increase by 40%. Lucas 2020. This figure also factors in disposable waste products by restaurants and single-use items and other single-use items such as straws, paper plates, and cups. This is an example of how COVID-19 has improved air quality in just 3 months of the pandemic. Up here, we're way up here in the 40 percentile. As of the last few months, it has significantly dropped to under 10 for the nitrous dioxide that's in the air, which is the footprint for pollution. Waste caused by COVID-19 has also affected the oceans. Prior to COVID-19, it had been estimated that 8 million tons of plastic waste enter the ocean each year. But due to COVID-19 and the increased use of plastic disposable items, it is projected that there will be more plastic weight than fish in the ocean by 2050. Ford 2020. Ford goes on to say, globally, 129 billion face masks and 65 billion gloves are used a month. If we were to implement lockdown measures, we would all see these numbers decrease. We actually saw proof of this in Los Angeles, Venice, and other parts of the world that implemented stay-at-home orders. Here in Los Angeles, we had a 28% decrease in carbon dioxide emission within 6 weeks of our shelter-in-place orders. During that time, you could really see the difference in our skyline. The difference was you could see it. It didn't have the brownish haze that covered downtown when you were viewing from a distance. Other densely populated countries saw similar effects in their air quality as well, such as China, Beijing, Singapore, and India. In Venice, their residents reported the clearing of the canals. They were all able to see the fish in the canals, the ducks and geese had returned, and the smell of raw sewage had no longer been there because of shelter in place orders. I have shown that lockdowns are beneficial not only for ourselves but for our planet. Other countries around the world have shown they can do it and they do it without protest, but here in America it is a problem. In my opinion, we are spoiled and entitled. We do not view wearing masks as following social distance rules as things to help our country. We view them as taking away our civil rights. I believe this is why our country has the highest amount of cases in the entire world. We have all seen the video of the Karens and Kevins, as they are affectionately named, refusing to wear masks and screaming at others who enforce mask policies. Due to this, America needs another lockdown. Having a lockdown eliminates the refusal of having to wear a mask because if you can't go outside, there's no need to protect us with the mask. Officials at the Center for Disease Control have stated that if everyone wore a mask and followed social distancing guidelines, the United States could have the coronavirus under control in 2 months and save over 130,000 lives. Fewer in Lovelace 2020. But since Americans are unwilling to stay at home and follow the orders which have been in place, we can all do our part to help stop and slow the spread of this disease, just like other countries, by having an us mindset instead of an I or me mindset. Thank you.